second to the year? What's the story behind this?
Well, that's because the Earth is slowing down in its rotation on its axis and losing about 1,000th of a second a day. So all the astronomers and timekeepers decided to add an extra second into the clock to keep the clocks in sync.
I knew it was getting slower. I thought I was just getting older. Wait a second. But what's the big deal with 1 second? Why does 1 second matter?
A second may seem insignificant, but you can change your whole life in a second by saying yes or no. In fact, think about this. There are 4.873 billion people on Earth. If every single one of them gets an extra second to live, that's 153 and a half years. You can get a lot done in 153 and a half years.
That's a good point. Well, let's make the most of our seconds. And you'll certainly do that if you stay with us as we prepare for a great New Year's evening. Stick with us. Joining us once again, though, is Tama Starr. You might call her the brains behind the ball. She's the woman whose company, the Artcraft Strauss Sign Corporation, builds the ball that drops high above us at the stroke of midnight. Of course, there are lots of people down there celebrating the new year, blowing their horns and twirling their noisemakers. But we've always celebrated New Year's, I guess, culturally all around the world and throughout history, right?
I think it goes all the way back. This very celebration probably has its roots in Stonehenge and the pyramids and Machu Picchu. Those old pagans knew how to do it just the way we do, and they'd gather in the big crowd to celebrate the turning of the year.
The cavemen, they didn't have a ball to drop from a building. They rolled a boulder up to a hill and rolled it down and said, Happy New Year, probably, huh?
No doubt.
What are you going to do for New Year's? What is your special New Year's resolution?
Well, apart from being healthier and wiser like everybody else, I've got two resolutions, and they're the opposite side of the same coin. One is creative procrastination. That means I'm not going to worry about the insignificant stuff. And the other is I promise to keep my eye on the ball.
Tama, thank you for joining us, and thank you for that ball up there. We're going to get to see more of that later on tonight. We will be broadcasting the descent of the ball at 11:55 live right here on Channel 9. So do stick around for that, as well as our 10 o'clock news broadcast with Sarah Lee Kessler, who will be live from Times Square.
You're down here in the trenches with the common folk. The enthusiasm, I'm sure, is even greater than it is up where Ramey was. These people are ready. Some of them have been here for hours. Some of them have come from thousands of miles away. They are ready to see what 1988 has in store for them, and they want to see that ball drop. Now back to you, Sarah.
All right. Well, Robert, talking about that ball drop, it's an 80-year tradition. It's been dropped from the tower here at Times Square, same location for 80 years, starting in 1908. Back then, it was a wrought iron ball. It was a 600-pounder. Now it's made of aluminum, 200 pounds. It's illuminated by 208 red and green light bulbs, and believe it or not, it uses the same pulley system that was in operation in 1908 when that first ball was lowered. There are four numerals under the ball. They will read 1988. They'll flash on when the ball finishes its descent. That descent is going to take exactly 1 minute. It's going to start at 11:59, and the ball is going to drop down about 70 feet. And as we get closer to 11:59 and get closer to the start of that descent, you can really hear the roar of the crowd. Okay, well, let's take a shot of that ball again. I want to tell you a couple more facts about it. Very interesting ball. Now, this year, the descent is going to be a little bit different, and I want to tell you why. The ball is actually going to pause for a second at 11:59:60 as a leap second is added to the world's clocks to keep them accurate. And you're going to know when that happens because there'll be a 1-second light show. Now get ready. Here we go. All right, we're at 11:59:11. The ball is starting its descent, going down 70 feet. And listen to how excited that crowd is getting. There are an estimated 300,000 people watching this live here tonight from Times Square, but the TV audience is in the tens of millions. People watching not only in this country, but in many other nations of the world. Times Square, truly the crossroads of the world. We're getting very close now. Oh, the fireworks are going off. That's it. It's 1988. It's the start of a brand new year.